hideout on the bottom. Overlay, you're just gonna have to deal with it top and bottom. On the bottom, in the purple, Swilly's playing the French, and on the top, in the orange, namcap pulling out his second seed, second tier civ, the Delhi. Looking forward to seeing some elephants, some action here.
Were there English bands in this?
I think he just decided to do something a little more interesting.
All right, all right. Yeah, the French again. This map probably isn't the greatest for French, but the game plan for French here is to try to contain your opponent in their little pocket, and then control the rest of the map. Meanwhile, for Delhi, I think the goal is just to get to your H3, get to those elephants.
I feel like this map is a little tough for Delhi just because the sacred sites are so hard to lock down on the corners like that. Maybe if you
That's a
get
good
the
point.
walls up on the edges here, but Delhi always wants to be keeping an eye open for those sacred sites, and map control is going to play a big part here. It looks like I was looking at the chat log. Namcap banned Dry Arabia for this, but no civs were banned.
Got it.
So he just decided to branch out a little bit.
Yeah, I think this map is probably suboptimal for both, so that probably means it's more balanced for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh
That's fair.
no! Not Swilly Scout,
And he goes down to the
no!
Garrison TC. Namcap with the pro plays. Got to get every advantage you can in a close game like this one. You know, he's put himself out there on a not his main civ, so anything can happen.
Luckily, you do get deer on this map, so it's not like the game is just over if you can't get
Starting
sheep.
deer. I think we might see. Yeah, we're gonna see another scout coming out for Swilly. Gonna slow down the production a little bit on the Bills, but he's French. He can catch up. He'll be all right.
Definitely.
This is like I think the second time we've seen Delhi from Namcap, and I don't know if he's using a build order I'm not aware of. He probably is. I don't know. I'm not that well studied, but seeing no mill and no religious building out at all, no mosque
That's a good point.
from the
Because
start
you do want
is a
to
little
queue it.
concerning, honestly.
Yeah, you do want to queue your upgrades right away since they're all free, right?
Yeah, you get that wheelbarrow as soon as you possibly can with the mosque scholar boosting the research speed. But maybe he's up to something else here. Definitely
Maybe
working
a
his way
rush
through
build
some
order,
things. Could be a
but in
rush build order.
French. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a great plan to me against French, but who knows?
You never know. You never know. I mean, the gold here, very exposed. For a French player, actually, the resource is pretty far away from that TC. This is looking a little closer. Maybe it's just the perspective. I don't know. Dome of the Faith. Oh, that's actually a pretty quick second age, actually. There. Not bad.
Spent less time on monasteries and stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, true. So no research age 2. New meta. You heard it here first. Thumbnail. Get yourself ready.
Looks like Swilly. How many villages does he have on everything? It looked like it was pretty good distribution.
Villager count.
Yeah, really good distribution. This actually looks like a build I would do.
Capture age team. You're not watching, but if you were, make this the default.
Yeah, 4 on gold, 7 on food. You can go 8 on food as well. This is one of those places where you could actually put 2 villagers on from the gold on the landmark and 2 villagers from food on the landmark.
Looks
That
like
way
he's
you.
playing it a little more standard this time with the gold villagers.
She's at
building
5
that
on
landmark.
Is that 5?
It is 5.
It's 5. Okay, a little more gold heavy.
Well, he's had to build horsemen before, so we'll see. We'll see if he gets the gold balance worked out this time around.
Now, I
forestry coming through.
just want to point something out.
Yeah.
Look at namcap's mining camp or lumber camp.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now look at
good
this
point.
positioning.
Good point.
It is in a safe area, but it's also looking incredibly aimed or directed, I guess.
This is like you're aiming an arrow straight at your enemy's TC with this lumber camp right now.
Maybe we're gonna see some cheese where he tries to mine all the way through the forest to backdoor his opponent.
We gotta keep an eye on where he's got these workers chopping. I'm a little suspicious though. That could be a directed chop through. It's a really interesting little pocket. we found back
Because
here.
look at the villagers, they're not going to the sides. Normally they fan out and they go kind of in a circle around outwards,
They're all
but they're
going
all
down.
going.
Yeah.
And namcap did rush the upgrade that lets you cut trees faster, right?
I mean, you do click
Yeah.
that every time as Deli, but
True.
it's
True.
true.
Because it's free.
That is
Yep.
true. I mean, he hasn't built a mosque, so he's not really going meta Deli, I think, at this point. I don't know. You can, if you really want to, pro tip, I don't know if it's a pro tip, it's a cheese tip. Micro these villagers so they never gather wood, they just chop it down, and then you can move them on to the next tree and just get there as fast as you can. The second last game of the grand final of the winter battle, winter clash, I don't know, EGC TV's latest thing. They had a map where both sacred sites are in the middle, surrounded by trees with the water. The first team to make it in there wins automatically every time. So basically a battle of who practiced chopping trees faster. It's kind of an interesting watch. I don't know.
So does namcap remember his upgrades? He built a blacksmith. Did he queue all the upgrades?
I think he's not queued them yet. Here we go.
Oh,
We're
there we
clicking them, deciding which ones to go first. I think. Okay. I'd like to see a little bit faster action on those, but I can't complain. I can complain, and I have, and I just did.
I mean, it looks like he's got his eco upgrades going. He's got pretty much everything going that you'd like to see.
Yeah, I mean, he's got all the buildings working,
wait.
maybe besides
Wheelbarrow.
the mill. Get that wheelbarrow, come on, I believe. So I guess having things in queue doesn't really matter as long as there's something in progress. Probably working on microing these scouts, which he has been very good at, by the way. Vision across the entire choke, if you can call this a choke. So we can see anything coming at him from that side. This one a little more active, dropping off some sheep.
Yeah, it's a good play, especially against French. You can see where their knights are. Figure out if you need to play defensively or if you're safe to keep
There's
Keep
wheelbarrow
going up.
coming through. Good stuff. And another, yeah, very interesting lumber camp here. We'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, just something to keep, just something to watch. We'll see. Maybe, I mean, it is efficient, right? Because you do have
That's
lumber
true.
camps surrounded on all three sides with wood, so it's very efficient.
That's true. Usually, you know, if you can, you look for these enclaves. You don't have to rebuild that lumber camp for ages. But, I mean, he's kind of cutting down to the side, so it's going to take a while if that is the plan. We have the first wave of knights
Ooh.
coming out for Swilly. He's going to make use of them.
No horsemen too. This is what I like to see.
And namcap does see them coming.
Ooh, he misses the charge though. You have to attack move before your knights are on top of their
or they're
target.
within range. Okay,
Yep.
so Swilly doing the right thing and just leaving that, not getting baited back by it. But that's going to mean namcap knows it's coming. He does have some spears. Doing the research first
Does
is a
he?
little bit of
Oh,
a
yeah.
Monka move, but it's okay.
I mean, these villagers are so safe. He could even wall them off. These wood villagers, sorry.
Oh yeah, just build a wall like right here.
Yeah, right.
Untouchable. This is an H2 move right there. Just wall off your woodvilles. You can even in hideout just wall off your entire base. It's just like halfway open. At least choke point it a little bit if you really want to prevent those raids. But Swilly, he's not moving right now. He's just been a little distracted on some other aspect of the game, I think. And on that archery range, got to work out. It's the food issue, I think. Got to get those farms
Yep.
down.
Remember that he lost his scout early and lost a good amount of sheep there, so
Oh yeah.
that's probably what's hurting
namcap
him.
still on 8 sheep. I think he gathered close to 15 sheep both games. And now the spears stream is in. We might see. I think we're gonna get a couple villager picks for these knights, but it's probably not gonna be value for how expensive they are to build.
Ooh, if he got out with 2 knights and got the heal upgrade, maybe that would be worth it, but
Would've been worth.
2 for 2, definitely not worth it.
I mean, you like to see the attempt at least, and also these houses built here don't wall anything off, but they do kind of just mess with pathing, you know. So maybe that's the thought process.
Yep.
Some more. Okay, here comes chivalry and some more
Oh,
knights.
I like the blacksmith
These
for
guys,
Swilly.
we got wood now for that, but good blacksmith move and straight into some upgrades.
Well, he gets the free one, right? He gets the free
That's
melee
free for
damage. so-
French, yeah. If we get fitted leather work out, as the Delhi H2 upgrades are starting to come through. He built 2 monasteries now, or mosques, and he's filling them up with scholars from the Dome of Faith at a discount. Now moving out with a couple of scholars.
Yeah, let's see. Does he go for relics or sacred sites?
Did he get? Okay, so the upgrade that allows you to capture sacred sites in Fuel Age did like just come through. I think that's why we're moving out now.
Yep, makes sense. He can also put his, I think, are they monks or? I think they're monks, right, for Delhi, on or scholars. He can put his scholars on relics as well and just prepare to capture.
That's true.
Since he ages up.
Swilly's gonna spot this guy out, so he'll know what's happening before the capture sound effects start kicking in. And he's also again, Swilly going for some eco upgrades like that. With the French, you basically just want to click as many as you can all the time.
Yep. Especially wheelbarrow. Even though I still see a lot of French players not get their regular resource upgrades like the wood cutting.
As always, like the H3 ones are debatable depending on the state of the game.
Yeah, I've seen people even delay the H2 ones though, just a little bit, because if you get all 3, it's like something like 100-ish gold probably.
Yeah.
And that's one night, so if you're really trying to put the pressure on, it can delay you a bit. But I tend to agree, you want to get them early.
Yeah, it depends on how aggro you're trying to be. These guys spreading out a little bit. A little less focus on there. Sacred Site counter about to be on screen. Love to see it. Slightly Chewy, welcome into the chat room here. How much have I missed? Well, you missed the Age of Empires 2 Grand Final. You're gonna have to go back and check those out as they come out this week. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, don't worry.
That was an epic series.
We've been watching Swilly just suffer in a few sets here as we go. He's doing okay so far. Yeah, that H2 final was all I could have asked for. What an incredible series from Tom Bombadil and Aloysian.
You know, namcap is microing his villagers, I think, to get cut into that wood, but
We got one spearman.
Yeah.
Just giving him a little poke.
Well,
and Swilly's gonna deny the sacred site. This is
really
always gonna happen, I think, and it's a good move from Swilly. But namcap, I feel like, should have expected that. I guess he just, why not give it a shot? These do definitely look like they're being microed down.
Well, look at that little
enemy base.
Yeah, look at that line. Like, I don't think they make those pointy shapes into the trees. Like, see how they're like digging into the into the forest. I think they're being microed.
Okay. Aloysian saying some of the most exciting AoE I've seen in a while. namcap deleting a lumber camp to go for a 3rd mosque here, and also we're hitting H3 with the House of Wisdom. Now, if he was committed to the sacred site win, which I don't know if it's really viable on this map, but you would go the other one, Compound of the Defender, to get the cheaper walls, cheaper stone walls, cheaper keeps. Just drop 1,000,000 keeps everywhere. But this will be a little bit more conducive to slower play.
Yeah, you can use your spearmen to build walls as Delhi, right?
You can use them to build palisade walls. Compound of the Defender enables them to build stone walls as well. I would love to see honed blades in slot number 1 here, just because, it's very good. This one, not too bad early on in the researches either, and these 2 fairly irrelevant outpost site is useful, but I don't know. I guess we don't have any man-at-arms out for our Delhi player here, so it doesn't matter too much on these upgrades. This is probably the best one you can get right now. +5 population count. And we have just the standard Delhi box of researches.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Beautiful stuff. Right now, military count looking like it's in namcap's favor with all those cheap spearmen out here. But 11 knights for our French player, nothing to be ashamed of. They're kind of spread out everywhere too.
I wonder where those villagers are going. I think they're just going to the deer, but those villagers we just saw from Swilly.
Looks like they're heading over to this gold. And it's
Hmm.
maybe an H2 move, but not optimized for that gold mine in this game. And we have some more suspicious chopping. And a
This is
scout.
very
Like, is he
suspicious
trying?
chop.
He's trying to see the way through here. Hang on, hang on, hang on. You got a little ways to go, my guy. Oh,
Alois
that's
asked
great.
you put the mine right on the gold. So yeah, if it's a large gold mine, like a 4x4, you put the mine directly in the center, uh, and like against the side. And if it's a smaller gold, or stone, you put the mine just next to it, but
Just
just
on
pick
one
one
side
of
because
the.
it's a 3x3.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that can be a little counterintuitive if you're coming over from H2 as well, because I've been talking this tournament about the one gap between meta, because in H2 villagers tend to bump into each other a lot, and it makes for some extraordinarily inefficient resource gathering if they're all like right next to the one corner of the mine, if it's right up next to it, because they can't fit inside of tiles in H2 either. Like, these guys are inside of the gold tile right now. But yeah, kind of an interesting change. We got another Royal Institute for Swilly.
Yeah, that's good. We'll see. What I would like to see here is him to start the upgrade that gives nice extra health, and then as soon as that finishes, go for an attack. But we'll see.
I mean, he's moving out with these knights now.
Hopefully
Might
he
just be a
doesn't
sacred
attack
site.
too early.
Hopefully we see the Royal Institute upgrades come through first. I love seeing the double research age 3 landmarks coming up against each other here. Kind of interesting there.
Yep.
namcap. Working on those relics. Delhi, it's always very weird if you don't press all the keys in the right order to get the relics inside before garrisoning the scholar inside while holding the relic, because then it doesn't count. I'm sure they'll update that in a few years. You never know. But right now,
Ooh,
it's really going to
nice
deny
micro.
the second sacred site and just not taking it with the knights until he has to.
It's good micro. He's not going to lose any
Yeah.
knights if he does it this way. Has the
I think
archers
he keeps all the archers too.
nicely done.
Well played there with that fight. I think that was no units lost for purple.
Yep.
Could have easily just A-moved that in there and still won, but would have taken some hits, so good stuff. Palace of the Sultan, pretty quick age 4 immediately after the age 3 from namcap. It's been a couple minutes, I guess, but
And let's see, is Swilly getting any upgrades? He's getting his arch upgrades. He's getting his knight upgrades.
let's check this out. Looks like
He got canted saddles, looks like.
okay.
But not the Royal Bloodlines.
Royal
yet.
Bloodlines is totally a key upgrade for this French
It
play.
is. Pretty much the whole point of going Royal Institute is to get Royal Bloodlines.
Okay, the wood chopping update here is looking a little bit less directed. Maybe
Okay,
he decided it's gonna take too long, or maybe he decided he's a little more worried about the French knights than he thought. We'll have to keep an eye on that though. Palace of the Sultan, almost halfway there, over halfway. Gonna have to move out onto the map, start collecting those exposed resources. Both players kind of doing that now.
Yeah, when I played against namcap, he built a bunch of walls that blocked off his side of his little quadrant of the map. I'd like to see that again. That was a good idea, I think. Made it a lot
Yeah,
harder
it's
for me to raid him.
surprisingly late to see no walls in the entire game so far. I guess I'm just desensitized from those Klopp games, but yeah, this is not too far to get a little defensive thing going here, or down on this side. I like Hideout tends to have like these little side forests between the two, cause a couple of choke points.
A very compact base from namcap here. I kind of like the aesthetic here.
Yeah, looking good. Let's take a little. Let's get a little look in here. Give me all my hotkeys that I learned. Where it's like we're in Delhi right now. Got elephants out here. Everything you could ask for. All right.
The
Can't do that in
elephants are
H2.
interesting because as the French player, you want to be making cav and knights, but that's not actually what you want to do against elephants. So there's this kind of weird game that happens where when you're playing against elephants, you want to go spears as the French,
Yeah.
because they trade better. They still lose one-on-one, of course, because it's a very cheap trash unit against a probably the most expensive unit in the game. But
Probably. Yeah.
it's still the most efficient if you go pure spear. So
Yeah, it's hard to know, especially if you haven't seen too much elephant play before. Like we had like one game where namcap went elephants, first deli game ever, and we just didn't know what to do about it. Uh, but I think yes, the answer is just pure spear. There was a time when we thought maybe going cannons was the answer as well.
yep.
I don't know about that though.
I guess it also is a different if it's depending on if it's one of those arrow elephants or one of those melee
True.
elephants.
Yeah, the
Um,
melee elephants you can kite all day. They're slow.
I think the melee elephants you just go spear into. I think the ranged ones maybe you go. Actually,
I
no, maybe you
mean,
still go spears even though
range
they're ranged.
siege, mass spears. I don't think horsemen fare too well into this. They don't count as cav, right?
No, not horsemen. I don't even think maybe knights because knights are armored against the ranged attack. So maybe that's
That's
the
true.
trick.
Knights could work into elephants. It might be a bit of an expensive trade for the knights, though. Unless you have royal bloodlines. Where is that? Wrong one. Oh, he clicked it. He
Hey,
clicked
there
it.
it is.
And we're in. Let's see if he attacks before that comes through. I hope not.
Yeah, we got
Definitely
the veteran
forming up a
upgrade.
strike force here. Actually,
Looks
there's a
like
window here where Swilly will have a major advantage, or at least not as much of a disadvantage. Okay, age 3 versus age 4.
yeah, I think this is probably Swilly's best time. And in general, you don't really want to go late game
Yeah.
as French. Of course, you don't really want to go late game as Delhi either. I think Delhi tends to be
No.
pretty age
You can,
3.
you can suffer in early to mid to late age 4. Unless you get to late age 4, then you'll be okay. I mean, namcap has gone 3 mosques now.
All full of
All full,
scholars.
so they're fully boosting that research speed, and it's still taking forever to get these final tiers of upgrades. Honestly, it's a little ridiculous, but hey, the devs are happy with where Delhi is. Nobody's playing them, so who cares?
Taking a little note from Kolop's book here, getting some some outposts down.
Got to get that vision. Will the outposts go down, though, is the question. Swilly
Swilly with
sees
the
them.
perfect time.
The Trebs,
His
this is
royal
great timing
bloodlines
for purple.
just finished right this second.
Okay, yeah. And the College of Artillery going down. Love to see reinforcements coming across the map, but here come the spears. Treb's gonna take down any towers. Both players just gauging what's happening right now.
Now we have a micro battle.
It's a micro battle. Oh, looks like we're targeting the tower. It's a little confusing in this game sometimes. One elephant only is out right now.
What the
And
archers
namcap's
shoot
gonna have more vision.
spears.
Okay. Just gonna fall back in formation. It's a little bit painful, but still doing okay. As we go full drama mode. Oh, this Treb sounds so good in zoomed in mode.
I think Swilly should win this, actually.
Swilly probably wins this. Elephants like this you normally would want to see in the mid-back line, not getting meleeed too much. But the archers here are clutch for Swilly. Great distribution
micro.
of units here. And good micro too.
Yep.
He's doing really well with that.
I like to pull the knights back, let them get their charge back, kind of do the cycle charge trick.
Cycle charge is definitely a move that it takes a little work to get used to. Down falls the last elephant. Very expensive, and Swilly reaches Imperial Age. namcap can't be feeling very confident right now. He just lost the whole army. I guess he's got a lot of resources to back it up, but I'd be a little worried. See if Swilly presses the attack. That's another thing that takes a little more experience to know when the optimal time is to win a fight and then keep on pushing. Sometimes these players just fall back, take their time after they win. They say, I took too much damage there, even though I killed the entire enemy force. I don't know what's waiting for me.
Yep. Something
Namcap-
that you can do too is you can actually contain your opponent.
There.
You can actually build walls and contain your opponent in their quadrant, and that takes the rest of the map for yourself. Especially
That's
on this
true.
map.
Yeah, you've gained map control now, so you can start building structures around here if you don't want to fight right away. But the towers, namcap really wants the vision on that side. Still no walls, no palisades even for either player. I guess they decided they're far enough away from each other that they can just react as things happen. Running out of some berries over here. Berries actually all out. Namcap gonna have to move into all farms now.
Yep, doesn't feel great as the deli since you don't get any
Actually,
bonuses, but
these elephants, they're costing them 400 food. Okay, well, 400 food, 600 gold. It's really the gold that you're hurting for there.
I have a feeling we're about to see a fight where it's like 20 elephants against like 50 knights, and the elephants are gonna just sweep.
Oh, I forgot. You can actually, ooh, that's a good looking little, you can actually garrison scholars in madrasas, which is the university for the Delhi. So that'll increase that research speed even more. I've kept going for a few optimized plays, even I didn't know about. I know everything.
I didn't know you could do that either, honestly. I thought it was just in the
I
monasteries.
think I've only ever encountered that function when looking through key bindings, and it says like, there's like a, I don't know, locate monks, garrison in mosques or madrasas. Yeah, okay, that's a thing you can do, I guess. namcap looking for a very aspirational outpost here. He's gonna
Just
find
getting
out
vision.
where the enemy army is.
Yep.
Very least, that's still useful.
He's about
Looks
to
like-
find out.
Sacred sites given up for now.
Looks like we got some arbs coming in for
I like all
Swilly.
these outposts. The focus on that is really cool. And a keep now. Forward side keep on the gold for Swilly. I like this map. Doesn't usually end in a fight over resources. At least
No,
he
it
decides not to go for that here.
Yeah, I think it really depends. If you can keep your opponent off of their edge of map resources and just contain them in the forest, then
That's
you
where
can
it
definitely choke
happens.
them off.
Yeah. But it has so much around the edges that if you can get there, that's not going to be the game-ending thing, I feel like.
Exactly.
Look at all these elephants. 7 regular fellas. 4 war elephants. I'm kind of surprised to see the war elephants out. Still a little bit unsure about their role in my armies.
Yeah, they feel like the worst of the elephant types.
Apparently they're effective against cavalry, for what it's worth.
Do they have a bonus against cavalry? I think they do.
Plus 40 versus cav.
Oh,
They have. I
that's
guess
a
they
lot.
technically have a spear. Oh yeah, they're.
Oh, they
they're
do.
Spearmen.
The spearmen.
Wow.
Oh,
Would you look at that?
today I learned. That makes sense. That's why they always beat Pure Knight.
True. That's actually okay. Those guys are a little bugged out. They're like a distinct little asset bumping around on top of the elephant. That's great.
Then the other guys have crossbows, right? The ranged version.
The other guys have. They start with bow and arrow, and then they get a crossbow research upgrade, which namcap has taken at this point.
Makes sense. Yep. So and then that lets them also be good against knights.
Yeah, so strong anti-knight. Also, we have a wall here from Swilly. Fully walled, no gate, and now these villagers are moving up. I'm wondering now if this is like a keep drop? Does he have the
Oh,
stone? He doesn't have
no.
the stone.
I bet he right-clicked his base, and then they built a wall and without a gate.
Oh, so he's like either right-clicked or shift-clicked, and now he's got to get out of there. Looks like you're not going to lose any. Just run, boys.
Saying hi.
Just checking things out. See if it's any better over here. We might like to move in. So that's a pathing unique to this map only. You can wall yourself out of your own base and then accidentally run into your enemy's base.
There's the
Incredible
gate.
stuff. The gate drop. Upgraded outposts now. Swilly's moving up, locking down this side of the map at least. I like the positioning from Swilly. I just want to see more action at the minute.
Yep. Oh, gotta keep these trebs safe. They're so expensive.
Trebs in the back of the formation. Formation facing away from the enemy. Oh, I think we lose both. It's so close.
Oh. Oh.
Treb goes down. Did he move the villagers back again after building this? Yeah, he moved them back to this stone. So a couple siege workshops up here wouldn't be terrible. As Swilly is now in age 4, and he built College of Artillery. Another great looking landmark. Let me just, I gotta get in there, you know?
Okay. It is a great landmark. A little plain on the back, but
yeah,
you know.
we don't need to dwell on that too much. But love this specific angle right here.
Yeah, this is the only way French have access to culverins.
Culverins, royal cannons, just a little bit of a better version of the cannon. The only way they have access to Rebaldequins as well, if I'm not mistaken. It's just that nobody ever wants Rebaldequins.
Yeah, no one ever. I think they actually are in the siege workshop.
Okay,
yeah.
they're in there.
But it's a little odd that culverins are not accessible in the siege workshop because I think royal cannons are in the siege workshop. I can't remember.
So that has to be like a conscious choice.
Oh,
so
no,
regular
okay.
cannon here. Okay.
It has unique to French on it though, even though it's.
Wait, this?
Yeah, yeah. That's really weird.
Does.
Is it a glitch?
So 400, 600, 33 seconds. Same cost.
It is the same cost.
It just didn't get renamed here. If he builds a normal cannon, we'll know.
So I'm pretty sure it does make a normal cannon.
Okay. This is the royal. 120 attack plus 600 versus building. 10 range. We have a raid.
Oh, his cannon's gonna die.
Cannon might get dove here. Falling back to protect. I do love the model for the royal cannon though. It looks great.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of my favorite looking siege units.
As Swilly takes down one landmark.
We went for a landmark snipe here?
Namcap, where's his army? Oh, it's in Swilly's base.
Ah.
Got a bit of a base trade here. Probably a risk Namcap's willing to take, as all these elephants also serve as siege units, and there's nothing to deal with them back at home for Swilly. Meanwhile, few back here, cannon towers as well. Swilly doing some damage.
Fortunately, he's just not focusing the landmarks here. Swilly needs to focus the landmarks, as does namcap on the other end.
I think the bottleneck here being the College of Artillery. Doesn't have enough artillery out there on the front lines to do enough damage. Namcap also kind of just taking his time. Not really focusing down any landmarks right now. Swilly gonna pull back now. 2 cannons did roll all the way out here.
Are they both royal?
Yeah, both royal. But it looks like this front, at least for now. Well, again, I guess elephants are a counter to cap now. So
they are. Yep. You need to go spears into this.
Surprised. Okay, there. I was about to say I'm surprised to see no scholars out with the armies, but there's a few, at least in that one. Did see a little bit more of that back over here, but it's a little harder to micro. So.
How did the elephants get here? Did they go through the wall? Did they break the wall? Yep.
They did break the wall. So we're gonna have to pull back everything now, as this is turning into a bit of a desperate last stand. Okay, no landmarks going down yet.
Yeah, Swilly's kept up actually in villagers.
Yeah,
basically 70 to 70. 70 to 70.
Very good job on the villager count this game.
I just wonder what they're doing. Look at the okay.
Hey guys, what are you doing today?
I was gonna say his economy should be strong enough to save his base here.
Really, with the royal culverin, and
that's a little bit far, unfortunately.
A very problematic spot. He may decide to replace it. Yeah, okay.
Yep, good call.
A little bit closer, but they may also just get denied with these elephants. Elephants, honestly, not really being used to their greatest effect here right now. I guess taking out one landmark. They're kind of getting chipped down by the cannons at this point, though.
Yep.
I guess he did get
Unfortunately,
attacked
cannons.
back at home as well, so.
Yeah, cannons not really the counter.
No.
You'd think they would be the counter, but no.
I think they might
Also,
get like
Culverins.
bonus damage versus Culverins or something, but it's just not really the case. Hard to know what to do when you got this much HP in your base.
Yeah, it's also a non-traditional unit, so it's hard to know the counter just by looking
Not
at
traditional
it. Right?
unit, least played Civ, hard to know
Yep.
the counter. Keep
It's
will
like when
go
I
up,
see
secure the college artillery a
Malians.
little bit. When you see Malians, like, what unit is this?
I don't even know.
Every
Yeah.
time somebody plays like Malians or Ottomans at this point, I always hear somebody going like, what unit is this? What are we doing?
Exactly.
The cannons making their stand, but not quite there. I guess I guess in like Rome Total War, cannons are great against elephants because they cause them to go berserk. So you know, there's that. That would be an interesting little thing. If you get too much chaos in the battlefield, get some berserk elephants. That probably end pretty badly, though. I think in the age meta. I don't know.
New Civ idea? You
New
can
Civ
make enemy
idea.
units go berserk and fight each other.
Still fighting now. These elephants.
This is something that is difficult, especially for new players to learn. But when your base is getting sieged, you kind of just want to pull all your villages out, and you want to just send them to safe resource gathering locations. So you
Yeah,
can at least make a
up
stand
to a certain
later.
point, as long as all of your landmarks aren't being threatened, it's better to just let the enemy take stuff, especially if you have the military disadvantage. Let them think they're taking the victory there and rally backwards, keep gathering resources elsewhere, and then hit them with all you can
Exactly.
last minute. But
Exactly.
that victory looks like Swilly called the GG, goes to namcap.